We all have messy thoughts, and these messy thoughts won't help you solve any problem. So, how do you think structurally? How you layer your thoughts into such a way that it will help you to solve a problem? That's what we will learn today. My name is Aditya Kulkarni. Welcome to Red Cape, and here we will be learning about business, how they function, how they solve the problems, and in the end, Mayuresh and Nirantar will transform their career into data analytics through this entire journey. So stay tuned for more content, and if you like this, share it with your friends, hit like so that more people like you can find this content. As we discussed in the last video, how do you think strategically and how you form your thoughts around certain problems, and that's when we discussed the mapping of our thoughts related to one topic, and we have given an exercise to Mayuresh and Nirantar to map their thoughts with their respective words. So Nirantar has chosen data and Mayur has chosen instruments. Today we'll start with Nirantar's data point. He has already provided us the map. So as Mayuresh, we'll just try to see how they have mapped their thoughts and how they can improve their thought mapping. So Nirantar, you can go ahead and let us know how you have mapped your thoughts as we see the diagram, but we would love to hear about it from you.
Okay, so I think data that we need to collect the data. So first thing, we can collect the data using surveys, experiments, and in that collection we have if we are covering all of the people that we are interested to cover in our data, then it's a population.
Okay.
And if we are taking a subset of that, then it's a sample. So I have involved that in a collection. And while for taking the data for any analysis, for any operations, we need to collect that data using it is stored in databases, then we need to collect that data using queries. So I have included SQL in collection, and also we can scrape the data over the internet.
Okay.
So this is another collection point.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, in we can store the data. So I have given a storage as a mapping for data. So under that there are databases, memory, and tables that we use to store the data.
Got it.
Similarly, for if you want to understand our data, we need to perform some operations on it and get the idea about that. So that is, we use statistics for that. So there are two main types of statistics, that are descriptive and inferential. So descriptive means we need to describe the data. So how will we describe the data? So using how the data is spread and how it is distributed. So for this there are various measures that we know from our school days: mean, median, mode, and variance and standard deviation. So these are measures for description of the data. And similarly for inferential, so these are inferential statistics are little bit towards the modeling of the data. So how the data will be in the future, how we will use the descriptive statistics, the measures that we have in descriptive statistics to make decisions. So these are inferential statistics. So under that there are predictions and forecasting that we do.
Got it. Got it. So great. There are few things whenever we map our thoughts, basically we should think in layer, like an onion. So first layer should be the higher parameters. So for example, data first comes at a collection, which is a correct data point that you thought of, and then you brought out the in-depth point of that collection part. Here now a storage would also come under collection, because you are storing the data while collecting it, right? It won't be happening other way around. You will just collect the data and store the data. Now this collection can be distributed in maybe 2-3 parts. something like one could be the technology part. So you can have a circle around it which says say tech. And using technology, what you are doing? So using technology, you can scrape the data, right? You are maybe hitting some databases through API calls, right? So that is maybe as API slash SQL. So that will come under tech. Now population and sample, uh, that is a method of collection, correct? So these are all can come under method. Because these are methods of collections and this is tech for collection. So you can layer these thoughts again. So every time you think it like you are peeling an onion. ओके फर्स्ट टाइम मैंने सोचा कलेक्शन, तो अब कलेक्शन किस किस वे में हो सकता है? देर कुड बी ऑफलाइन कलेक्शन ऑल्सो, देर कुड बी ऑनलाइन कलेक्शन ऑल्सो. You might have some people go out and give out forms, they will fill it, and then you do a data entry into your database. So offline will have something like offline data entry and post that offline form filling, right? So there could be another chain of thought that would link to this. Now storage is an interesting point. Here there will be another thing which is called hardware. So hardware is also important. Nowadays we take care of cloud compute, we use cloud computing, right? बट क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग के लिए भी कहीं तो हार्डवेयर चाहिए ना, कहीं तो हार्ड डिस्क होगी जहाँ पे रीड राइट हो रहा है डेटा, राइट? सो हार्डवेयर हो गया तो फिर उसमें हार्ड डिस्क आ जाएगा आपका, उसमें रीड राइट आ जाएगा. सो ऑल दीज थॉट्स विल कम अंडर दैट. सो स्टोरेज इज ऑल्सो अगेन, इफ यू थिंक ऑफ इट, there is a two part for storage. One is software, one is hardware. In software there will be databases, tables, maybe your type of database, which type of database it is. And then hardware में सब कुछ आएगा कि RAM कितना है, processing power कितना है सर्वर के पास, which services you are using, cloud or offline, your own on-premises services. So again, think in layer. Now let's come to statistics. Statistics, here in descriptive there is one major portion which is in both variable, right? Variable is a crucial part in statistics, over in descriptive and inferential both. So descriptive is like you said, it's more of like in description of what has happened, and that is through data कि यार ये सब डेटा पॉइंट्स आपने कलेक्ट किए, इससे ये पता चलता है कि ये हो गया. That's what descriptive means in simple language. Inferential is more of like थोड़ा सा ज्ञान देना, अगले साल क्या होगा, अगले महीने क्या होगा, अगले हफ्ते क्या होगा. But to do that, first you need to do the descriptive statistics part, because that's how you will gain the confidence about how variables are correlated, either positively, negatively. क्या जैसे एक घर का बहुत सिंपल एग्जांपल देते हैं सब लोग कि घर का प्राइस अगर बढ़ता है तो उसका मतलब कि घर का जो स्क्वायर फीट होता है वो भी बढ़ता है. दैट इज़ अ पॉजिटिव कोरिलेशन. सो दैट्स हाउ यू डिफाइन वेरिएबल्स ऑल्सो, बिकॉज वो वेरिएबल्स तुम्हें पता चलता है कि ये वेरिएबल के अगेंस्ट मेजर ऊपर जाता है नीचे आता है. सो वेरिएबल इज अनदर थॉट. नाउ द मेथड यू हैव मेंशन्ड, variance, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, is kind of you can say aggregation for mean, median, mode, because those are aggregation methods. These three, you are going to aggregate data at some point, that's why you are using these methods, or you are going to check the distribution on aggregated data. मान लेते हैं कि you have 10,000 data points, and each have different value for, let's say, dollar to rupees conversion. So you have 10,000 records, but then eventually you want to see that how much money you have spent in dollars and compared to rupees. So अगर तुमने $400 खर्च कर दिए 10,000 रिकॉर्ड में, तो what is the conversion rate? So आप शायद मीडियन ले लोगे, because that will treat the outliers कि किसी दिन अगर बहुत ज़्यादा स्पाइक हो गया तो. So that is there. Standard deviation and variance is for treatment of outliers in analytics. तो अगर आप if you want to treat your outliers, you would look at standard deviation. So there is simple term called bell curve in the industry, which is generally used, and it is shaped like this, right? And यहाँ पे 1 standard deviation होता है, 2 standard deviation होता है, 3 standard deviation होता है. This is something that we will learn in the future, but this is something I wanted to tell you कि standard deviation and variance, these are the two terms which help you identify outliers of your data. So this is your accurate data, maybe this much, rest is outlier because they are not they are once in time event kind of thing. So your thoughts were very accurate. It's just that try to layer them one by one and try to think loud at first, very loud कि यार बहुत एक्सटर्नल क्या चीज़ है. सो इज देयर एनीथिंग दैट यू फेल्ट लाइक कि यार यहाँ पे, बिकॉज कलेक्शन में देर इज़ वन मोर थिंग दैट आई कैन थिंक ऑफ इज ऐप विच कम्स अंडर टेक्नोलॉजी. Apps also collect a lot of data from us, right? So is there anything that you would like to say यार ये एक और ऐड कर सकते हैं हम लोग?
Security
that will come under storage.
Yeah,
Storage and hardware, because hardware has to be secured, right? But also
yes.
through software, so there is a catch. So Narendra, would you like to add anything else into this your thought mapping?
Data security.
Okay, where it will come, data security?
Under data only.
Yeah.
Or either storage.
Right, it will be related to storage, because so your hack will either be physical or through software, and this entire piece is about software and this is about hardware, right? Where
Yes.
your actual infrastructure of server will be present. So yes,
Yes.
data security will be another thought that we can add to this layer.
Yeah, under data security, there will be encryption of personal data, unauthorized access,
Correct.
consistency of the data should be maintained.
Correct.
Data should be availability for everyone.
Correct. So confidentiality, availability, and maybe data integrity. Generally, people call it a CIA, not the American spy CIA, but this stands for these three words which I just spoke about. So, yes. Anything else that you can think of?
There is new field, that is data ethics.
Data ethics.
Yeah.
Yes, tell me
So
about
while obtaining any data or while using any data for your own commercial benefit or any monetary benefits, you need to obtain the data ethically.
it.
So sometimes some websites do not allow to scrape their data. So still, if we try to scrape the data and use it for our monetary benefits, it's not ethical. So to maintain the ethics part of the data is also important.
Got it. So we can say data ethics,
Yes.
and this data ethics will have multiple branches, like largely one branch only, whether you are obtaining that data through maybe legal is also an kind of a word, where are you obtaining that data legally, because a lot of time some companies or some individuals will obtain data illegally, not just through hack, but there are other ways also to obtain data illegally. Yes, that's good. Anything else?
No, that's it from me.
Okay, this is start of your journey with thought mapping. We will have more and more problem statements for which we will map our thoughts and try to figure out what is the correct solution or what would be the best approach to solve this problem. So thank you for doing this activity, Niranta. In the next part, we will look at the thought mapping of Mayurish, and we'll try to understand how he have mapped his thoughts regarding the word instruments. So thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.